use the isms socialism and communism, that's also divisive, right? And wrong.
No, because there is socialism. Look at the Democratic Party.
Oh.
Look at the mindset of most black people. They are socialists in their mind, in that they rely on the government to do for them and tell them when and where and how, rather than doing for themselves. As a matter of fact, that's what the Democrats want to do by way of the government, is to control the people by giving them things and thinking for them and providing.
David Pakman was joined by Jesse Lee Peterson on the David Pakman Show. And as David Pakman normally does, he uses bad faith tactics to try and corner Jesse Lee Peterson. And Jesse Lee Peterson actually flips it all around on David Pakman and makes David Pakman look like an absolute idiot. Let's get into this clip here where David Pakman tries to corner Jesse Lee Peterson and then ends up running from the debate that he started in this clip. Let's get into this clip here.
There's no ism. It's either right or wrong, good or evil. You're either on the side of evil or you're on the side of good. And so that we can become one nation under God again, I would unite the country in that way. The first thing I would do.
I love it. So when you say you want to get rid of those words,
yes.
Would you ban the words? Would you outlaw the teaching of those words in school? Like schools can't use the word racism? How do you do that?
I definitely wouldn't ban the word.
Did you say, I'm sorry, you said you would or you would not? You would or you would not?
I would not ban the word. You can't ban the word.
Got it.
But I would not allow the schools to teach that to the children and brainwash them.
Got it.
In order to do what we see that they have done to the young folks already.
Got it. So school curriculum could not include the word racism.
That's right, because it doesn't exist.
Right.
It's a brainwashing technique to use to divide. We are Americans. We are America. We are one nation under God.
Yeah.
And those words tend to divide us.
Would you ban, and so you don't want any isms taught in school?
No racism, no sexism, no homophobism, no Allah Abba-ism, no white supremacism, and no anti-Semitism. No ism. It's either right or wrong, good or evil.
Now,
how do you guys feel about that? Because I kind of like it. I agree with Jesse Lee Peterson here, and obviously, David Pakman's not going to agree. We all know the drill. No matter what comes out of a right-winger's mouth, it doesn't matter if the sky is blue, David Pakman's going to disagree. But I'm curious to see what you guys say in the comments. I kind of like that. I like that proposal from Jesse Lee Peterson. We can still teach right and wrong, obviously, but having all these little isms and istophobes, like I like to call it, like, that's pointless. It just gives people, children in this instance, in school, and then obviously they're going to grow up with these beliefs implanted inside of them. It's giving them easy outs in life, right? It's giving them so many different excuses on why they can't be successful. Oh, the world is sexist, the world is racist, rather than just teaching them what's good and what's evil, what's good and what's not, what's right and what's wrong. You're teaching them all these different istophobes and all these different reasons why they can't be successful, or why they don't have to try, why they can just be bums, collect, the food stamps and government assistance and stuff like that, and then just blame it on racism, sexism, homophobia, whatever. I agree with Jesse Lee Peterson here, but let's see what David Pakman has to say, because of course he doesn't.
I'm sure you also then would say that when Republicans use the isms socialism and communism, that's also divisive, right? And wrong.
No, because there is socialism. Look at the Democratic Party.
Oh.
Look at the mindset of most black people. They are socialists in their mind, in that they rely on the government to do for them and tell them when and where and how, rather than doing for themselves. As a matter of fact, that's what the Democrats want to do by way of the government, is to control the people by giving them things and thinking for them and providing, rather than providing for themselves.
Who is a prominent Democrat who's a socialist?
Communism exists.
Who is a prominent Democrat that's a communist?
Wow, that's a good one. Those four radical women that, who are those stupid women? The one from New York and Detroit. What? What? Yeah, the Squad. Those are perfect example of communism. I can't think of the name. They're so stupid.
Sure. So they
Cortez, I believe, from New York. That's a nutcase. I don't even understand why anyone would even listen to her.
Right.
Let's more vote for her. But you have the other one out of what? Ilhan Omar and another.
And what communist what
Khalid.
communist policy have they advocated
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
for?
They want to take care of the people.
They want to take care of the
want to
people.
think for the people. They want to give free health care, free everything for the folks. Not all are they evil. It's pure communism.
Jesse, do you know what communism is?
Yes.
What is it?
The people, when someone else want to control you, it's about controlling other people.
Communism is controlling other people. That's interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting. Okay. You've really said a lot here, and you know, I'm doing the best I can to sort of keep up with all of it. Tell me, when you look at Donald Trump, you've told us all of the things that you think he's done great, except then you said you don't really care about those things like economics and trade and all of that stuff.
I care about them, but that's not my thing. I don't pay a lot of attention to that.
Right. So here's my question. Are you able to identify anything you don't like that Donald Trump has done?
I don't know how much I agree with him on letting the inmates out of the prisons.
Which inmates are those? Which inmates are those? Which inmates are those?
You know,
You see how he keeps trying to get Jesse Lee Peterson in these little gotcha moments where he's like, what is communism? And then Jesse gives an answer, which I don't know. I mean, I don't think that Jesse's answer was the full definition of communism when he said it's when you're controlling the people of the population, when you're controlling the population. That's not obviously the full definition of communism, but that is a part of it. 100%. It is about control. So then he moves on to another one. Jesse, do you disagree with anything that Donald Trump has ever said or ever done? And then Jesse answers David Pakman's question there. And then he moves to another one. Like, he just keeps trying to get these gotcha moments. Dude, you're not going to get Jesse Lee Peterson in a gotcha moment. Like, the guy could just, he's going to be able to answer literally any question that you give him.
how they let a lot of the prisons out by saying that they were there because they sold pot or their crime wasn't bad enough to keep them in prison, some kind of dumb stuff like that.
You don't like
I
that?
don't know how much I support that because I haven't had time to really look into that. I just feel that if you do the crime, you should do the time, and it doesn't matter what color you are.
Right.
I'm not in total support of that.
And did you?
And one other that might make you feel good on the inside. I don't like the fact that right now there's a position open on the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yes.
I don't like the fact that he is nominating a woman just because it's a woman.
Really?
In America, it should be the best qualified person. And not even say, hey, I'm going to put a woman there, or
Right.
I'm going to put a man there, I'm going to put a black there, I'm going to put a homosexual there, or anything like that. But I'm going to look and find the best person that's qualified,
Right.
and that's the person I'm going to put in that position. That is the American way.
So it's sort of identity politics that Trump is playing in a sense.
On this part, I don't like that, no.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Certainly.
He's playing right into the hands of the Democrats when you do that. And you and I know that the Democratic Party is an evil party. It has no godly values at all.
You know what's weird about that, Jesse? You're a man of faith, right? And you're a Christian counselor, and you know all of this stuff.
We also have an entrepreneur academy where we're teaching young men how to start their own businesses, or if they already started, we help them enhance the business. I started a credit union where we loan them the money and they pay it back with small interest. We've been around for 30 years now. Bond, the Brotherhood's organization of a new destiny.
Right,
and
but my question,
rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man, because most males today are beta males.
Right.
Real men. So we're showing them how to overcome being a beta male.
Okay, so I was trying to keep this from.
You see how he keeps changing different subjects, and he's like, oh, let me try this gotcha moment. Let me try that gotcha moment. And Jesse Lee Peterson just keeps coming back, and he's just throwing it back in David Pakman's face. Like, look at all the good that we're doing for the people inside of the people who follow me, you know, for the people inside of my community. Look at all this good that we're doing. So you keep trying to come after me, you keep trying to get me in these all these gotcha moments, but I guarantee that Jesse Lee Peterson is doing way more good for his community than David Pakman is. Remember, everybody needs to remember, right? Whenever David Pakman and the woke left lost the 2024 presidential election, David Pakman saw a bunch of people unsubscribing from his YouTube channel and unsubscribing from a bunch of left-wing channels, and he started begging for subscribers. He started he literally started begging for subscribers, begging for book sales, and begging for paid memberships to come back because he was losing those. Jesse Lee Peterson's not doing that. You know, he's not doing that. Nobody really on the right wing that I've seen anyway is doing stuff like that. So, I mean, like, let's be real. Jesse Lee Peterson is obviously doing this for business, right? He is doing it for money. But he's also trying to do good within his community as well. David Pakman is doing this for money, period. End of story. Like, he's doing it for money only. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about David Pakman trying to get Jesse Lee Peterson in gotcha moment after gotcha moment, and Jesse Lee Peterson just throws it right back into David Pakman's face live on David Pakman's own show.